Hi, I'm Lynn Gillespie, organic farmer and creator of the Abundance Garden course. Today we're here to teach you about the high performance characteristic number 4, which is very little time. It is a waste of time and money to plant your seeds the wrong way and end up killing the plants. So today we're going to talk about starting seeds directly into the garden. This technique is for plants that do not like to be transplanted and tend to be stunted or die when you do transplant them. The nature of these plants is to be planted and be left alone. Disturbing the roots is damaging or fatal to the plants that detest transplanting. So if you look on most of the seed packs and catalogs, they will have some information as to whether the seed will tolerate transplanting or not. But the biggest problem is that all seed packs do not agree. Every garden is a little different and every gardener thinks a little bit different, and that's why we have so many opinions. So I'm going to show you how I direct sow my seeds for my garden. So here I am in my backyard, and this is actually my root cellar down below here, and what we did is we put the secret soil mix in on top of the root cellar. So I have a garden bed here. I've been planting here for about 10 years. It grows really great stuff. So what we want to do today is we're going to plant some plants that like to be directly sown. They don't like to be transplanted. And there's a couple of things that you need to figure out before you actually put your seeds in the ground. One of the things that you need to know is timing. There are warm weather plants and there's cool weather plants. And if you plant the warm weather plants too soon, they're going to freeze. And the cool weather plants, they'll take temperatures down around 28 degrees Fahrenheit. But you still need to get your timing right on those. So if you are needing some more information on the timing, there's an article on our website. You can go to www.thelivingfarm.org and look for the planting zone article, and that will help you get your timing down on when to plant. So if we're looking at the warm weather plants that like to be sown directly, those are beans, soybeans, corn, and popcorn. And the cool weather plants that like to be sowed directly are carrots, garlic, kohlrabi, peas, potatoes, radishes, and turnips. So if you look on your seed packet, a lot of them will have the planting instructions. One of the things you need is the planting depth. A general rule of thumb, if you don't have instructions on your packet, is planting 3 times the width of the seed. So if you have a lettuce seed and it's a 1/16 of an inch wide, you can plant that up to 3/16 of an inch deep. Or like corn seed, if it's a 1/4 inch wide, you can plant it up to 3/4 of an inch deep. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're planting. As far as like the distance apart, if you are in a regular garden, the information on your seed packet should be fairly accurate for you. But if you're in a high performance garden, you need to look at your high performance garden system, because it's going to have a totally different spacing than what's on the seed packets. Because in the high performance garden, we can actually grow things closer together. So whatever system you're in, take a look there for your spacing. So soil makes all the difference in the germination. Most of us have really bad soil in our yards because they built a house, they took the subsoil from the basement and they threw it on top of the ground. And that kind of messed us up. So what you're wanting to do is, we have a little system here that can help you kind of cheat that. I'm going to plant in my good growing bed, but I'll pretend like it's bad soil and then you can see how this works. So for me, the first thing I need to do is to remove the mulch, because I put the mulch on all winter. Okay, and we are going to plant, let's do some beans, some corn, and some radishes. And what we're wanting to do is, we have a bucket here. This is the family secret seedling mix. And if you would like to know the secret, you need to go to the website and go to the High Performance Garden blog, and video training number 3, which is planting the seeds indoors, has the secret family mix, the seedling mix in there. So let's say that this is your bad soil, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a layer of the secret mix down first, and what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich our seeds in between the soil mix. what that's going to do is that's going to give the seeds a chance to get rooted before they have to deal with the bad soil. So I'm going to put in some green beans. And this is just for sample today. It's actually too cold for me to grow these outside right now. So what I want to do is that these are, somewhere around 1/4 inch wide, not quite. So I'm going to plant these at least 1/2 inch deep here, not quite 3/4. And I'm going to punch these down into the seedling mix. So there's seedling mix underneath. And then I also have some corn seed. And it's just a little bit wider than the bean seeds. And I'm also going to push them down. I'm going to take my thumb and push down to like this next joint. So I get about 3/4 of an inch. And you'll have to do your spacing according to your garden and your packet. This is just a sample for you guys. Okay, so I put my corn seed in like that. Now, the radishes are a smaller seed. So they are about 1/16 of an inch. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm actually going to broadcast them right on top of the soil. A nice row. And then I'm going to cover everything with the soil mix. So I'll take some of the seedling mix, and for the radishes, I'm going to try to get about 1/4 inch on top of them. Like that. So we're making a sandwich here, a seed sandwich. The corn, they're pushed down in the soil. I'm also going to put about 1/4 inch on top of them. And the beans, the same. Okay, so I have my seeds. They're sandwiched in between the good soil mix. We don't need to add fertilizer at this point. Each seed has enough fertilizer until it gets to the first set of adult leaves. So it'll come up, it'll have the baby leaves will be first, and then the adult leaves will be second, and that's at the point where you need to feed these. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is, this is ground up straw, and I'm just going to sprinkle that on top, because what I'm wanting to do is hold that moisture into that seed, and this will help me do that. Now, my favorite is grass clippings. The grass is just starting to grow, and I don't have very much grass clippings right now. If you don't have grass clippings and you do need to get a bale of straw and you need to chop it up fine like this, you just spread it out on the lawn and run it over with the lawnmower and catch it in the bag, and it'll chop your straw nice and fine for you. Okay, now that I got my seeds planted, got my mulch on, then the next thing I need to do is water it. You're going to want to water it really good on top of the mulch. And then you're going to want to check this every day, maybe even twice a day, and keep it moist until those seeds come up. Now once you get the seeds to come up, then I would come back in and I would put another layer of mulch again, making sure that you're keeping them watered the entire time. So any seedling that emerges out of the garden is already tempered to the sun, so you don't have to shade protect it at all. But let's say you were growing squash outside and you planted the seeds and they came up, they're going to be fine. But if you start your squash indoors and you bring the plants outdoors, let's say you had a missing one in the row and you had some backup and you planted it, that squash plant that came from indoors is going to be tender to the sun, and you're going to have to give it about 3 days worth of shade in order for it to be okay without sunburning. So you need to just pay attention as to where you started the seed as to whether you need to sun protect. But anything started outside, as it comes up, it's already getting used to the sun, so it'll be fine. So anyhow, that's how easy it is to start seeds outside. And it's really fun once you know the type of seeds that you're planting, and just follow just a few simple rules for the types of seeds that you're doing.